But let's talk some more about this other radio host who has had some negative things to
I've
say
had my
about
say.
both of you. Yeah. What? First off, is there a problem between you, Dr. Cornell West, and the President of the United States?
Is there a problem?
Is there a problem?
No, I don't think there's a problem at all. I think that we both trying to live lives with some decency and dignity. I think that he finds himself inheriting a catastrophe from President Bush. And I think he made some bad choices when he chose Tim Geithner and Larry Summers as his economic advisor. I come out of the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., John Coltrane, Nina Simone, and Curtis Mayfield, which had to do with telling the truth about suffering at the deepest level of your soul. Tim Geithner is not part of that legacy. He's tied to Wall Street oligarchs and plutocrats who have been seizing billions of dollars while poor children have nothing. And so when he chose those Wall Street oligarchic figures, I became critical. Similarly, when he chose foreign advisors that dropped these innocent bombs, dropped bombs on innocent civilians in Pakistan, I become critical because Martin King was critical of both. So I'm just being true to Brother Martin and the tradition in that regard. I protect the president against the vicious Fox News attacks, these right-wing attacks and Tea Party attacks. They lying about the brother. I'm against lies of any kind. But if you side with Wall Street oligarchs and don't highlight poor and working people, I don't care what color they are, poor and working people are catching hell. And it's wrong, it's unjust, it's immoral. And that's the stand we're taking. But you know what's fascinating about this is that anytime you bring precious poor people to the center of the stage, everybody want to push them off and start a little ego conflict. This is not my brother Tavis. This is not my brother Cornell. It's not my brother X, Y, or Z. This is about Letitia and Jamal and the other folk catching hell. The brothers and sisters we just were at Second and E, who ain't got nothing, who's been rendered invisible, no job, no serious attention, but investment bankers get $700 billion when they fail. Something wrong with that. Somebody got to speak up. And at that point, it's not a matter of popularity. I'm not trying to be popular at all. I'm a Christian. I'm just passing through this world. I'm a pilgrim. I'm trying to be funky, have fun, tell the truth, die, see what's happening.
What about apparently the personal attacks you started up talking about from another person in the media? What do you say to him?
Very simply, to Doc's point about the fact that we are free, Jesus-loving black men. In my tradition, it's simple. I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it, no matter how hard you might try. I just don't believe that that we have to descend into vicious, vulgar name-calling that is beneath us as black men. When you have a radio audience of millions of people, and I have a television show and other radio shows of millions of people, there has to be some place on somebody's program at some point in time where we can come together for a conversation. And I'm putting that out there. Anybody else who wants to have a conversation, I'm the easiest guy in the country to find. People can see me on the radio, hear me on the radio every day, see me on TV at night. I'm the easiest guy to find. I'm open to having a conversation anytime about these issues. But I think it's wrong of people to throw stones, to name call, and to not be willing to have a conversation. The last thing we need at this point, given all the hell that black people are enduring, is a name calling session. That just doesn't get us anywhere. And people splitting verbs and busting infinitives and dangling participles can't match a subject and a verb together, can't subjugate subjects and verbs, and then you want to get into name calling. That doesn't get us anywhere. So I'm open to having a conversation whenever they want to go there, and have it. I'm open to having it, but I want to do it respectfully. And here's the problem: the last thing that black people need to be tolerating right about now is incivility. There's got to be a civil way to do it. If you want to have a civil conversation, I'm open to that. Name the place, name the time. Dr. West and I will be there. If you're not interested in having a civil conversation, all you want to do is throw stones and score points and get ratings, then I can't compete with you on that. You can have that. I'll let you win that fight. But if you want to have a conversation about how to move black America forward, you know where to find me.
How much of what he says do you attribute to him being a comedian? And trying to get a joke that's not there?
I don't think that you make jokes at the expense of other people's humanity. I just don't find that funny. Richard Pryor was one of the freest black men we've ever known, and the greatest comedian of all time, to my mind. And yet Pryor was saying something with his comedy. It did not descend into vicious vulgarities. I don't find the humor in that. Now, somebody else might laugh at that. Somebody else might think calling somebody a monkey ass is funny. Let me just be clear about this. If anybody white in America called John Monds or Cornell West or Tavis Smiley a monkey ass, all of black America would be out of control. Specifically, the quote was monkey behind. We were called asses in other parts of that rant. But if we were called a monkey by anybody else in America, black America would be outraged. So for anybody to sit and listen to another black man or black men in this case being called monkeys and sit back and laugh at that and think that's funny when we wouldn't let anybody else get away with that, see, that's the double standard. People think we're hating on the president and they want to attack us, but somebody else black calls us monkeys and they laugh at that. That's hypocrisy.
And not only that, but I mean, there is eternal truth in the phrase, do unto others as you would have others do unto you, which is to say, you do tell the truth. How you doing, my dear sister? You do want to tell the truth about one another, but none of us want to be called that name. So that if someone were to go on the radio and call that brother that name, he would be deeply upset. Why? Because the brother deserves respect.